Hi there, I'm Jay Tyson from Dr. Puppet Who. It's been a little while since you guys have heard from us. We've been working on a lot of new things. Episode 3 for us has been a giant undertaking. We wanted to introduce a character that was very unique within our own universe. In doing so, we came up with the character of Joseph, which we'll show pictures of in a little bit. So, Joseph becomes a rather integral part of the story as we move on past A Leak in Time. So, getting back to Joseph, we've had a lot of fun designing his characterizations. We wanted him to be a member of UNIT, but we also wanted him to be a time traveler himself. My idea was that he was probably at one point a member of the Time Squad, similar to like Jack, who had his own vortex manipulator. He's always wearing this spacesuit. But in the first episode, when you meet him in A Leak in Time, he helps the Doctor and Betsy throughout that episode in episode 3. But what we wanted to show you was a little bit about how we created Joseph, because we didn't want to just sort of scratch together some strange little bucket or something to make a spacesuit and different other things. We wanted it to have an old-fashioned quality to it, but at the same time have an element that made it look very clean and very refined. So we were very fortunate to have a 3D printer that we were given access to use. So we purchased a whole bunch of our own plastic, and we 3D modeled all of the parts of Joseph's spacesuit, all the pieces that weren't going to be fabric. And we 3D printed everything. And we've included some videos here so you can see the process of the modeling as well as how it exports to the 3D printer and then parts of them being printed. I find that kind of thing very interesting, especially since 3D printers become more and more cost efficient for people like us at home. Coming up with props and other ideas that ordinarily we would have to kit bash or do something where it would be a lot more costly becomes much more doable. So we've been very fortunate over the last couple of months to have access to this machine and be able to create all the pieces for Joseph's costume. And that is one of the main things that has slowed us down a little bit, because we really wanted his suit to be something special, something very memorable. And the hardest part was finding the sort of glass or plastic container that actually ended up being his visor, or the main part of the helmet. And then everything else was 3D modeled after we carefully measured the plastic container and created the 3D pieces so they would fit together on top of it and be glued around it to create this more technical looking helmet. There's additional pieces that are actually adhered to the suit, make it a little more spacesuity kind of thing. And there are direct correlations to Tennant's red suit from Waters of Mars and the one he originally got in the Satan Pit and the Impossible Planet. And of course, the last time I think it was used was during Kill the Moon, when they had 3 of them. So we took a lot of screen grabs of that, and we took some inspiration from some of the shapes that were used on that suit to give our suit a little bit more viability.